Welcome to the Cincy Postcast. I'm Kevin Wallace, and before we get started with today's episode, I want to tell you about our good friends Streetside Brewery, because that's where we are going to be for Game 2 of the playoff series versus the Columbus Crew. That's right, Sunday, November 2nd. Kickoff is at 6:30 p.m. For at least the hour leading up to that. Come join us at Streetside Brewery. We are going to be telling you about the game. We are doing a live show from Streetside Brewery on November the 2nd starting at least 5:30 p.m. It's going to be a good time. Come on out. It's going to be a blast, okay? You got Streetside Brewery, the best daggone brewery in the city, dealing and brewing some delicious beers. They have incredibly friendly staff. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be some giveaways. We'll talk about the game. We'll preview the game. It's going to be a ton of fun. And yeah, I hope to see you there. I hope you will be there. Come on out. It'll be a blast. And yeah, we'll have full high hopes before that one on Sunday night, again, November 2nd. Starting at around 5:30 p.m. So a huge thank you to Streetside for sponsoring this episode and for hosting us. And thank you, listener, for coming on out. And on today's episode, we are talking about the Montreal victory. No, the FC Cincinnati victory over Montreal. It was the Montreal match. You know what happened. 3-0. Dado Valenzuela gets an assist in this one. Oh, everything is looking up. We also get to spend a lot of time complaining about the playoff situation, the schedule, the format, all of the above. Just come whine with us about that. We look ahead to the Columbus Crew. What does it mean to play Columbus? How much pressure is there on FC Cincinnati versus Columbus Crew? We wrap it all up in part 3 with some Patreon questions, put it all together, and you have yourselves the very first of 2025 postseason postcasts. Joining me to talk about all of that and more, I am joined by two gentlemen who are so ready for these MLS Cup playoffs presented by Audi, as discussed by the award-winning Cincy Postcast podcast. I am joined by the Chief. I am joined by Grayson. Chief, I mean, hell of a season for FC Cincinnati. 8th overall in goal differentials, 65 points, tied for most wins in the league. I mean, what more could you have wanted?
I don't know, man.
2 points.
2 more points, yeah.
Maybe even just 1 more point.
Yeah. 2 more points anywhere on the schedule. You know what I want? I want to go back and do the Interstellar, the no screaming meme in that Dallas game where we gave the lead up, or late against Orlando when everyone just forgot that, you can score in stoppage time.
Yeah, when Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet.
Yeah. It's a hell of a year. You know what? And
You know what it is?
This is the most Cincinnati second place finish of all time, if that makes sense.
It's a good year for sure. It's a hell of a year. It's a good year by most metrics. It is the most troll year a team could possibly have. Because
do tell.
Because it's we lose the league MVP, the talisman, right?
Yeah, that's tough.
We come after a disappointing year where they failed to complete the roster and dump out of the playoffs quick, right?
Right. Yeah. Last year.
First thing they do, sign MLS incoming transfer record forward signing, right? Like the type of signing that it was like, oh, if we do that in the summer, we win MLS Cup, right?
Right. And they get that done immediately. So there's no
And
visa
they get it
issues. He's
the
going to be
next
there on
day.
day one
Yeah.
of training camp. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
So they
Hell yeah.
do it. They do it right away, right after they get eliminated from the playoffs. This happens, right? And so we were like, oh, and all the dialogue is like, oh yeah, I watched them in the playoffs. They just needed someone to finish off the goals.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to play with Lucho, right?
Yeah.
No, Lucho gone, right?
But
we signed Evander.
yeah,
It's pretty nice.
Which
breaks the goal scoring record for the year. Like
In all comps.
for the team.
I do want to go back for a moment and just relive the moment of Chief saying, I have no idea who Evander is, but he's a bum and I don't want him.
I mean, that's a presumption all MLS players really need to overcome, if we're being honest.
Did he overcome that for you this year?
No, absolutely. Yeah. Non-bum status confirmed. Job well done, man.
Okay.
So we get Denke, we get Evander, right?
Yeah. It's awesome.
But then there's like other stuff that happens in the preseason, like Kubo of all people shows up
now.
late for preseason. Orishano holds out. We have
Barrial was in preseason training, I think, for a
Barrial
week.
was in preseason for a minute.
Yeah, showed up.
Miazga injured
Yeah.
to start the year.
Still, that was sort of carrying over from last year.
Put a pin in that. Right?
Yeah.
And the team comes out and it's like, it's only going to look better, right? They have like a pretty good start for a team that's
they start playing against Motagua and they look like the best team ever for like one half of play.
Right. But even like the early league season, it's like, if this team like just got assembled the week before the season starts is like pulling out results this early.
Wait till they gel.
Just wait until they gel. Right.
Yeah.
Wait till they gel. Wait till there's no wind.
They
fix your lid. Wait till they gel segment of the week.
they get knocked out. No free ads. Okay.
Just a little taste, okay, of what could be possible.
Yeah.
They get knocked out of Champions League early. And it's like, okay, well, you can't expect a team that just like put itself together like before, like 2 weeks ago, right, can beat Tigres, and they showed flashes of quality.
Yeah,
let's build on that.
First half against Tigres was great.
Yeah,
the season goes along. We keep saying, just wait until they gel.
Yeah,
just wait until they gel.
Yeah.
We get to League's Cup, second opportunity for a trophy. Second game against a much inferior opponent. Don't pull it out, and they just ship the trophy.
Yeah. Not
unfortunate consequence of that tournament.
Right.
You mess up the second game, you're essentially out.
It was less a gel at that point and more like a non-Newtonian fluid where like the harder you tried to hit it, the more solid it became. It certainly wasn't like it was a gel, but it wasn't the right kind of gel at that point.
Yeah. And then, over the course of the season, like they have a couple of signings. They lose Yedlin, who was undroppable before they lose him. And they kind of cobbled together since then a mix of Echenike, Alvis Powell, and Dominic Markzuk. They use 4 U22s.
Yeah.
For the first time, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, with Yedlin gone, they were allowed to open things up.
Yeah. And you get to the end of the year and they finish just shy of the supporter shield, and still probably haven't gelled.
No.
and they went from like hobbled and ungelled to like fully fit. Now's the time to gel, to multiple players injured, ungelled, And it was like, yeah, we can understand why they didn't win Champions League's Cup, not the goal, rest, whatever. Shield. Right. Yeah. They dropped a couple of results over the course of the season. They probably should have gotten and finished 1 point off, but also they've won the Shield before. It's not the main thing. We're all in for MLS Cup. And then it comes into MLS Cup and we're missing like a third of the starting lineup and we're playing Columbus. It's like,
you know what this team needs going into the playoffs? A rousing locker room speech. That works in every movie.
Yeah.
When it's like the team is like, it's not there, but like all the actors have finally that were like advertised on the movie poster, they've all joined the team at this point.
Yeah.
And you just need what's going to put us over the edge. It's a rousing speech from like, Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday, or like Emilio Estevez and the Mighty Ducks. Like we need that gathering moment.
The Al Pacino speech on Any Given Sunday is like, there's like layers of irony to it. Like Any Given Sunday is not like an inspirational sports movie.
No.
Right? Like it's like it's kind of like this is the shit the coach would say, and whatever.
No, I don't need to hear slander about this. That is like one of the greatest 2 minutes of film ever.
Out of context, it's great.
Yeah, out of context, it's incredible. Yeah, you get like it's also full Al Pacino. When Al Pacino is just playing Al Pacino in other movies, like he's not actually playing a character. It's like, here is Al Pacino as a football coach. Like here's Al Pacino, he's an aging gangster, and he goes up and he's like, and we claw with our fingernails for that inch. And it's like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm ready to get CTE. Let's do this.
Two things about that. One, it's important for something that is like commenting on another thing to also be like a good example of that thing. For this movie that's commenting on like culture of the NFL broadly, it does add to the quality of the movie that the speech out of context works out of context, like as a locker room speech in and of itself. Right.
Yeah, like the man in the arena thing from Vince Lombardi or whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is, Al Pacino would be much more convincing as a basketball coach.
Yeah, like if he was like a Bob Knight style basketball coach, like an aging coach that's trying to navigate through like what NIL has turned college basketball into. And it's like, this used to be a proper sport where you could choke student athletes and throw chairs. And like the kids had to stay because there was a 2-year wait period to transfer. So, and then you'd be looked down upon for running from a challenge.
I can't think of a lot of football coaches that like plot onto Al Pacino. I can think of like 35 basketball coaches that plot onto Al Pacino.
What if we got him like current age, like you're like, 75, 80-year-old Al Pacino, but we had him with like
he's
a 26
dating Samantha Carpenter.
Yeah,
no, Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
That's a movie. That's a movie right there. You have like 80-year-old Al Pacino as an aging football coach, and Sabrina Carpenter as his like manipulative girlfriend.
Like publicist, manipulative girlfriend, secretly running everything.
He leaves the NFL and takes over like a middling college program.
Yeah. You could not make that up. Honestly, like if you pitch that, it's like, this is too perfect. No one will believe it.
Right.
This doesn't happen.
We like the idea of the old guy going back to college, but the young girlfriend, that just seems really, really creepy. And I think it's going to turn audience members off. It was like you made
this a really big focus of the script, and I don't think that's how this would play out.
Like we love like Gene Hackman going back to coach, like going from like a higher level to a lower level in Hoosiers,
like junior college,
as like a redemption story.
Yeah.
If we had given him like Madonna as his girlfriend, I'm not sure like he would have been as like likable.
And Madonna's also kind of the coach.
and everyone is visibly uncomfortable by what's going on, but he's such a legend, no one wants to say anything.
I could weirdly connect both of these things. A book that I highly recommend as a soccer book and also as not a soccer book is a book called This Love Is Not for Cowards. A journalist embeds himself with the forerunner of the Juarez that we know today, the another team that was there previously that since folded. But in that he talks about his time like with the team and with the fans, and said that before games, the coach, instead of giving a like rousing locker room speech, would play videos of other rousing speeches in movies. And would literally play like the Gladiator speech, the Any Given Sunday speech. And that was it. They would just play it and then just go. And they were awful. They were god awful.
Apparently Joe Mazzulla, the head coach of the Celtics, does that a lot. Like he shows like he'll be watching a movie and he'll be like, hell yeah, my team needs to see clips from The Departed. That'll really get them fired up for this game.
I mean, if you like cut it into like some of those like TikTok,
it's the scene of The Departed
edits,
where like the one like older guy like dies, and he's like revealing himself to be like also a rat to DiCaprio. And he's like, ask me why I didn't tell. And he's just like sitting there dying, and Leonardo DiCaprio is just like watching him die. And Joe Mazzulla is showing this to like, what's the guy, like Jaylen Brown?
And
he's like, Jaylen Brown. He's like, you got to be like this.
Jaylen Brown's like, Jason Tatum and
excuse me.
Like, can you do more like this? It's like, wait, what?
I need you to.
And this is why you need to shoot more
life.
3-pointers right here. It's like, I don't understand how this relates in any way.
I think coach wants me to go trade to another team and spend 10 years working to undermine them.
They're like a coach like mistakes like Hoosiers for like The Conversation. And he just like shows like scenes from of Gene Hackman in The Conversation to players. It's like, so you're just gonna be like a good listener.
You can tell Columbus is on deck because we're just not talking about soccer right now. It's like, just talk your way through the existential dread. It's gonna go away.
Shit. Let's just dive into that right now. Look,
I know how we can start this conversation. Hold on.
Please.
At some point in the match against Montreal, should the word have come down to start scoring on your own goal?
I tried. I did my best.
Thought about it.
Yeah.
Oh, were you yelling it, Grayson?
I put it on Twitter.
Oh, I thought maybe you were literally shouting to the bench.
No, I was in a situation where I couldn't I had to be like kind of demur.
Damn.
Grayson had nice seats to the game with fancy people around him. So like, hold on. I need to know this. In MLS, if your side has to forfeit, does that go down as a tie or a loss?
It usually goes down as a 3-0 loss specifically.
Perfect.
For the sake of the standings.
So like if some hero would have like, and I'm not condoning this. This is, I want to be very clear.
Chief. I don't like where this is going.
This is parody. I'm saying this is parody. This is a comedy podcast. Maybe somebody jumped the rail and, tackled someone or grabbed the ball and took off running.
Oh, what was the baby's name? Started with a Z.
Zadek.
Somebody pulled a Zadek.
Yeah. Which could the fans have solved this problem?
I still say stay woke on Zadek.
I'm waiting for Zadek to pop up in the academy.
I think the team might have wanted some publicity.
Yeah. You would have known if like Zadek was run over by like a dog on the field and just like, we're releasing all the cute things.
I think Zadek comes from like this all being like a false flag, and then somebody going up to the mom being like, oh, what is your son's name? And she's like, Zadek?
Is that like the conspiracy theory that every time you hear like some Hollywood celebrity, they give their kid a name like Apple or, Topeka? It's always because like they tell the media that, and they don't like really tell the media my kid's name is Chris or something very normal.
I'd believe it if they weren't then also hiring them to like be the producers on movies in 10 years.
Right. Yeah.
It turns out they have a lot of bizarre names.
Oh, well.
So FC Cincinnati.
We won.
Beat Montreal 3-0. Grayson, they did it. You asked for double-digit goal differential at the end of the season and more than 60 points. They gave you plus 12, which, like I said, good for 8th best in the league.
Man,
that's not terrible. They beat Montreal 3-0.
No, that's true. It's not terrible.
No, it's
decent. The standard is the standard, and the standard is not terrible.
I mean, top 8 is firmly a middle tier playoff team in terms of goal differential.
Hey, Carl, this is Chris.
Not terrible.
Give me all the money, and I guarantee you, not terrible.
Not terrible.
I mean, the other professional teams and most of the college teams can't give you that. So,
I mean, this is true.
They could if they had the money.
I don't know if that's true.
Is this, to quote another movie, what if this is as good as it gets?
That's pretty good, though, is kind of the thing. Like, the expected goal differential is subpar. I'm not going to lie. Everything we can measure looks good.
I do want that question posed to, and I don't mean this like. I know people are like, oh, you guys could be like so negative. Or
Grayson hates the team. Continue.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
I think it's fair to say, like, you know, they had a nice, like I said at the beginning, they had a really good season. You know, is this the goal? Like, was this type of season the goal when the season started?
You know what the answer to that is? Hold on, time out. Like when you say, when you ask that question, though, I mean, anyone that works in sports or coaches or like is a general manager, they're all going to give you the same answer. And that's that, no, obviously our goal was to win Supporters Shield. But when you finish 1 point short, you're firmly in the realm of bad luck. That like 1 point, like, yeah, if you finish 10 points back,
right, it's
hard to say that the other team wasn't better than you.
Yeah.
But when you're 1 point back, you are quite literally talking about a bad no penalty call in some game, or, you know, an unlucky moment of defending where, you know, someone places a perfect ball into the box when your defenders aren't in exactly the right space, and like 15 things had to go right for that to happen. And on this night, on any other night, this MLS player misses the goal, or the ball is too low, too flat, too high, and you walk out with all 3 points. And that's the difference at the end of the year between winning Supporters Shield and losing Supporters Shield. So, like, it is for, like, I usually hate this, but when it's just a point, you ask that question, it's like, yeah, we had a great season, and the ball, we got a couple unlucky bounces. Philadelphia got a couple lucky bounces, and that's the 1 point that separates these two squads on the field.
That's fair, okay. But I do want to point out that, like, this is also like why it's a great troll season, because you can say, like, yeah, if Torrey Penso doesn't call the first ever foul on a set piece in that way,
right,
in the history of the league, and take away Miles' game-winning goal at Miami, we win Supporters Shield, right?
Yep.
Maybe Philadelphia tries a little harder on decision day, but
sure,
but yes, as the schedule finished, 2 points, yeah,
2 points,
win 2
points got us there. But on the other hand, you want to talk about luck or unlucky. If we don't have like a historic overperformance of underlying numbers, we're not even close to Supporters Shield. And so I would ask, I guess, like, I would like an essay by Chris Albright of, like,
what he homework thinks, now. I love it.
Of what he thinks like happened this season, right? That addresses, like, not just like, oh, they called a foul on Miles in Miami, right?
Right.
And explains, like, also, like, why they were completely toothless against Philadelphia. and they were completely toothless against Columbus. And they had a week where they played 3 of the teams in the East that finished in the bottom, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And got 1 point out of it.
Yeah, it's tough.
And so it's again, it's a great discourse troll season, because it's you have an excuse for everything. It's we were in it and then we just decided not to, or we fell really short here and then we had bad luck. We only cared about MLS Cup, and then we had bad luck with injuries late in the year, and we played Columbus. Whoopsie daisy. It's a fully choose your own adventure.
Yeah. No, it's the team is a Rorschach test. It's
yes.
you can see whatever you want in the photo. And yeah, this same team, if they put this effort against Montreal together against DC United earlier in the year, this team wins Supporter Shield. Both of those teams exist. The team that went out and absolutely crapped the bed against DC and Atlanta, historically bad team.
Gave up a 3-1 against Dallas?
Yeah, they go down and get waxed by Atlanta. They have Dallas on the ropes, 2-goal lead in the second half, and let them claw back for a draw. But it's the same team also that clocked Miami here at home.
Yep.
And, that was when they had the stars in the field. Against Miami after the All-Star game, where they've got people suspended, they look like they're incapable of stringing together 4 passes successfully. This team and this season is just everything good and everything bad about an MLS team you can imagine, from the highest of highs, breaking transfer records with signings, to guys be on the back end of the roster being unavailable and it hurting the team because of lack of depth. It's this season has quite literally been everything: good, bad, annoying, exciting. And, as a result, they finish 1 point short. And they are one different call away from 2 Supporter Shields in 3 years. And instead, it's 1 trophy, a whole lot of what if, and now staring down the barrel of the playoffs where, sure, anything's possible.
I think at some point there needs to be an answer to the question of okay, I can spend $30 million in the attack. What if instead I gave a $20 million signing bonus to Ernst Tanner and then gave him $10 million extra to sign players?
Yeah. Or just this idea of you say you want an essay at the end of the year, and this is big picture. No. I do think the question that I would love to know the answer to, with the full season being done, is why do the underlying metrics suggest this team is bad? I am interested in that. Just give me because I would love to hear somebody smart that's connected with this team. Tell me the reason why. Okay, XG differential says this team sucks. This table says this team is good. Why do those 2 numbers not relate to one another? And why is everyone who says the one number that's bad is pretending bad things in the future? Why are they wrong? And you can't use, scoreboard. You got to tell me why these numbers say you're bad, these numbers say you're good. Reconcile those for me and just tell me. And maybe there's a great answer for that I'm not thinking of, or we're not thinking of. But I would love to know the answer to that, because in this game on against Montreal, which I suppose we'll talk about at some point, but they win the XG battle in this game decisively. They score 3 goals. This is what we thought the season would look like all year against teams that were at the bottom of the table. And it rarely looked like this against teams that were at the bottom of the table. And if it had looked like this against teams that were at the bottom of the table, maybe by the end of the year, the underlying metrics look a little better. You rack up some more points. And this is a historic team that we thought it would be based on the signings we had in the offseason.
And
I'm fascinated by it. I'm fascinated.
If the answer is we think XG is like a fully broken model, and we think we've built a game model that just
defeats
it, you know, I'm not going to say like I necessarily like agree with it, or like anybody should agree with it, or it's good or bad or whatever. But I think that's an answer. Like I would accept that. I would fully accept that as an answer. Like Matt Doyle described the team as gappy, which he meant like it's very easy for teams to like find space in the middle of the field and advance the ball. That tracks with, you know, how I have viewed the team across the season. And if it's like, yeah, we've decided to just fully seed the middle of the field because we think the team is vulnerable from attacks on the flanks, but we think our center backs are like really good at like blocking high XG shots and just limiting opportunities. So we're fine confining attacks to the middle of the field. And we think we're just like really good at defending the box and blocking shots and whatever. Like if that's a choice, like great. Like I would love to know that, because I do think it affects how you judge the team and how you think about them as players. But like, you know, as it stands, you know, it looks like they're just it looks like they're getting lucky a lot of the time. And it's not just lucky, like,
yeah. Well, now you're getting philosophical. It's like, how long
it's
are
not
you
just,
lucky?
It's not just lucky. It's not just lucky good. In like the goals they're scoring. It's also lucky in the goals they're not giving up. And the lucky in the goals they're not giving up is the side that concerns me.
But eventually, you'd expect those numbers to balance out.
Yeah, I don't want them to balance out in the playoffs, though.
But they haven't balanced out at all. Like, but if they balance out, it means the other teams start scoring more and we start scoring less. I think in order to balance out, I think we have to give up like 20 goals in the playoffs.
So you're saying it's gonna be hang on here.
Even close to that, I don't want to do.
I find that unlikely is what I'm trying to get at. I think even those games that we lost, like I'm going back and looking at that 3-3 game against Dallas, we outshot them 2-1, like 20 shots to their 10. We beat them on XG. DC United, it's a little different picture when you look at all of it. So they barely beat us on XG. But if you discount the first 20 minutes of that game, we dominated that one. Possession, shots on target, XG, outside of the first 20 minutes. Rough start to that game, and we scored in the first 20 minutes. They scored twice. But outside of that, we dominated that game. Similar story with Atlanta United. It's a weird game. After the first 20 minutes, they settled in. So it's like, even where we struggled in those games, we actually won the battles that we're sort of asking this team to win.
We need to care about XG or not care about it.
I'm just saying, even if you use it,
hold on. You can't just use it in one game and discard it the rest of the games.
My point is, you would expect the XG to really reveal itself when the team is having a poor result, and it doesn't. Like, it doesn't even go back the other way. Like, that's the weird thing about this team's relationship to XG. Like, let me see here. I'm going to do this.
We did win a lot of games this year where we lost the XG, which was
okay. So then, yeah,
which I guess has to happen given our results. Like there has to, have to, like there's no way the math.
We're going to win more games where we lost the XG than games where we won the XG, because we finished the season in negative XG.
Expected goals minus expected goals against.
Yes.
Yeah, not that they expected negative goals, just in case somebody was trying to follow along. No, but I think too, like, there's the two answers to this are, one, the East is really hard. I mean, Orlando's in the play-in game. Their same point total last year puts them in fourth place. Like, the East is just a very difficult conference. And so they're not going to blow teams out of the water because there weren't enough really bad teams to do that to. Yeah, if they could play like this Montreal team half the season, then they would look totally different. There's a reason why like none of these teams like really ran away with this season. And the other thing I would say is goals change games. It's a cliche for a reason. But yeah, when you have incredibly talented players who are able to take over and score a goal that they weren't supposed to, according to all of the models, that changes then whether or not you do setback or whether or not the other team pulls off an extra defender and throws on an extra attacker. So I think those two things play into this, where there aren't enough samples of like blowing the doors off of bad teams. And we have, according to everybody, including Matt Doyle, we have the most talented attackers in this league. They scored a goal or two when they shouldn't, quote unquote, according to XG. And it changes. Now, if you want to critique like what happens when we go up and how game states are managed from there, by all means. I am not saying this team is immune from criticism, but I think that would go a long way to explain the gap between what this team is and what underlying numbers would suggest it is.
What I would the something I would throw into the conversation right here is if you look at points from going behind in Major League Soccer, we are third from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
The only teams that were better than after falling behind are New England and Salt Lake. Now, we've only fallen behind 11 times.
I was going to say, how many times do we fall behind versus other teams?
We've only fallen behind 11 times in the season, which is...
How many losses do we have?
We have 9.
So we
losses. So we have 4 points. We have fallen behind the fewest in MLS. So that's very interesting.
That feels like a good,
feels like a good thing.
Better metric.
It feels like a good thing. It feels like a good thing. But some teams that have fallen behind like 12 times, like Philadelphia, for example, has fallen behind 12 times, one more time than we have. They have 12 points after falling behind, and they have 8 losses on the season. Vancouver has fallen behind 13 times. They have 7 losses on the season, 12 points after falling behind.
Yeah.
It's an interesting stat though, because it does feel like what I guess what that stat feels like reinforces to me is that the team doesn't have like the tactical ability to like generate goals when it wants or needs to.
Right. It can't flip the switch.
It has a way of playing.
Mm-hmm.
And if that doesn't work, maybe we get lucky. But they don't have the ability to like break down a deep block, or they don't have the ability to like
at will
discombobulate a defense by, moving the ball the way that like Columbus does. People keep telling us like, maybe I'm, getting a little ahead of us, but like think about Columbus. Columbus scored 3 goals without Rossi and without the DP forward. They were able to get 3 goals, the same number of goals we got without those guys.
Yeah, but so in MLS, maybe less so than other leagues, but just, even in soccer in general, that stat is basically a check on how many times do you concede first.
Mm-hmm. When has this team ever scored goals without its DP10?
Never. Rarely. But like when it comes from coming from behind, to me, that's more a symptom of a problem that has plagued this team all year. And that's that guys that should be key bench contributors are either not contributing or have been hurt. It's because when you think of teams that come back are usually teams that have the ability to throw a couple of guys on, chasing a result, who are even if they don't end up scoring, they are chaos agents on the field, or they put pressure on opposing defenses, or defenses have to account for more people in the attack. And then that frees up your star to do something special, because all of a sudden there are more things that the teams have to worry about, more attacking pieces that the teams have to worry about on the field. And like for this team this year, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, there just aren't or haven't been a lot of good available options where you can throw somebody on and really go chase a result. And they've gotten some reinforcements in that regard, theoretically, that should be able to help. Like if Ender Echenike can get healthy, and I don't know what the timeline or the prognosis is on his recovery, he's a chaos agent. He's a guy you can throw on at the end of the game who is a better option off the bench than quite literally anyone they had last year during the playoff, during the stretch run.
Yeah.
This entire season, they've been missing Yuya Kubo. Kubo comes on in this game and looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, it's Montreal. They're playing for nothing. You got to add all the caveats. But like that is a person where, in theory, that should have been a guy. If you're chasing points, you can throw a Yuya Kubo on for the last 20, 25 minutes of a game. And he is a guy that is going to be aggressive, who is going to, can play with the ball at his feet and can put more pressure on an opposing defense. They have Sammy Guidi now, who is another player that you can throw on in the midfield, who can put pressure on opposing defenses. For the majority of this year, it was Brian Anunga and Prey behind him. Yeah. Like you weren't going to throw Steven Jimenez on. I mean, he looks like a fine when he's on there playing defensive mid, but he's not going to go change a game for you. Like, Kai Kamara, God love him, he's not going to go change a game for you. He's not dynamic enough to do that. So what this team has done, and why I'm somewhat more hopeful than that this team can not continue to defy its XG situation, but maybe create a new paradigm for itself going forward as this team goes into the playoffs, is that finally they're starting to get people back healthy that can be difference makers and go create scoring opportunities or create chaos when you need to find a result that just haven't been available or weren't available for the majority of the year.
I buy that. I definitely think that this team is better than the team that was going into the playoffs last year. And
I think it is better than the team that, if you would have just drawn a line at the center point of the season, prior to the summer window, it is a better team in quite literally every facet. Just from the additions of Guidi, Echenike, and Brenner alone, this is a team that is just more dynamic, with more options off the bench and with more healthier options off the bench that can go win a game for you.
I think it's a team that,
say it,
depending on health, could be better than 2023 going into the playoffs.
There it is.
I agree. I
mean, there's like a lot of asterisks, right, regarding on like what is player X's health and availability, but like, and maybe we don't see this in the first round, but like you get this team healthy, I think it's very hard to draw, at the very least, I think it's very hard to draw a significant gap between 2023 and this team, even if you think 2023 is better.
Yeah. And that's what, like, at the end, it's like, what did we want out of this team? We wanted this team to go in to MLS Cup playoffs as presented by Audi, as discussed by the postcast. We wanted them to go in with a little bit of momentum.
And the award-winning World Scam.
Can't emphasize that enough. We wanted this team to go into the playoffs with a little bit of momentum and the ability to beat anyone. And
they have that.
Yeah. They've got that.
They do.
And like, if they could somehow, give Matt Miazga some of that Michael's secret stuff from Space Jam and get him back on the field. I mean, to me, quite literally, it's get Matt Miazga back on the field and get Kevin Denke out of that incredible John Wick assassin suit that he was wearing and back into his kit. I'll take the team that we had last night. I'll go to war with that. with that bench too, I'll go to war.
I mean,
You know, I don't need Luka back. I don't. Like, great. He's been a net negative this year. Let's be real.
I don't know about net negative, but he's not
certainly hasn't lived up to the wage bill we're paying him or the transfer fee we paid for him.
Angle back would be nice.
Angle back would be nice, but like, I'm okay. Give me Matt Miazga back.
Yeah,
like I'm okay.
But I think the team leadership seems to think that Miles is better than Miazga's ever been on this. Than Miazga's ever been on this team. So if you ask team leadership, even if Miazga's hurt and doesn't play, we have the best center back that has ever played for this team. Going into the playoffs.
You know who else thinks that, for what it's worth? Mauricio Pochettino, because the Matt Miazga's phone hasn't rang.
That's true.
And Miles
looks like to have an
inside
run on playing in the World Cup next year.
Yeah, he's running with the ones, man. Like everyone's worried about his place.
I have a hard time arguing against that. Like looking at the pool.
Yeah. If you're going three at the back. Yeah.
If you're going three at the back, I have a hard time.
They had him playing wing back though, which you don't think like Chris Albright's eyes were like, hello.
I have a hard time arguing against Miles as a starter in the national team when you look at the formation that they seem to want to play and you look at the pool. But
yeah,
I think it's a different conversation.
Yeah, that's a conversation for a later date.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I will say where my full attention is now is availability in training this week. Like, I want to know where Ayub Jabari is coming back from injury. I want Lucas Angle updates. I want to make sure Teenage Hadebe clears concussion protocol. That goes technically down as a concussion sub, even though he's subbed out at halftime much later than the concussion. It was a concussion substitution ultimately ruled, so that's why everybody got an extra one there. I want to know, Ender Echenike, I want to know where he's at. Matt Miazga, he's supposed to be back, not this coming week, unlikely to be there for that game on Monday, but should be available after that, according to the original timeline. So all of a sudden, potentially,
I think Miazga's availability depends on
his money bones,
his contract status.
How is Money Bones doing?
We were joking earlier today about like Trey Hendrickson, that they should have like some SNL sketch where it's like, if you found yourself suffering from aches, pains, joint stiffness, ask your doctor if a new contract is right for you.
Yeah. I don't think that
I will say this.
So here's what I'll say.
Side effects may include increased amount of bling, new car, new house, increased happiness, increased attractiveness.
I'll throw two data points out there.
Okay.
One is with Matt in the past.
Yeah.
Noonan has talked about the importance of like the player feeling ready. Like, right, where like they're medically cleared, but it's also important for like the player to feel like they're ready to be out there.
That's why it took Matt a little bit to come back the first time around.
Yep. And then the other one is I have heard Laurel suggest, not the only one, but just to not to pick on her either, but just to mention somebody who's thrown it out
to apply some reporting
that you might be more willing to take risks when you have like a long-term contract. And it's not that like you're sitting out to as like a negotiation tool, but like maybe you're not willing to push things when you're still trying to get like a long-term contract. I think there's something to all that.
I can buy that, but also if you're sitting out for a new contract and I understand
not sitting out for a new contract,
But if we're not trying as hard as we
just
could,
feeling a tug, and
not,
thinking
not
like,
risking, not risking future injury.
Okay. If we're making a business decision around hell is real playoffs, given everything else that you've gone through, I don't need you on the team, man. Like that's
my guy made a business decision around the regular playoffs.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good without you, man. Like if that's where we're at mentally. I don't know how that's that much different than the guy going out partying the night before and is too hungover to play. That's the same thing. I don't need that guy on my team anymore.
I think that's
I need that guy on my team.
No, we don't. We've proven it this year. We don't need him.
Hold on. I think there's a thing you say about like maybe like future contract stuff. But that's not a thing you say about like what's the best team we can field for the win now playoffs.
Hold please. Yeah, Matt Miazga played in the 1-0 loss to the Philadelphia Union. We have not lost since, and I don't know that he's played since. I think we're a better team without him. Boom.
Bold.
There you go. There you go. And you know who could prove me wrong?
Matt Miazga.
Matt Miazga.
Give him a new contract. What are we doing here?
Well, there are two parties.
They can pick up his option too. So
they could pick up his option. And so the question is, are you
going to pick up an option on a guy who doesn't want to play for you?
Look, I'm not sure I'd pick up his option if it's at or above his current contract.
The truth comes out.
But there's
ways
you
can't sit here and give all of this false praise to Miles Robinson and then turn around and say I'd give Matt less money than he's on now.
Look, no, that's not inconsistent. I am saying like we can't say that we didn't have Matt Miazga. That's why we lost or whatever.
Oh, that's fair.
When we've said that, oh no, we think that Miles is not just better than Matt, he's better than every other center back in Major League Soccer.
Right. And it's also like you can't use the Matt Miazga was unavailable line and then also turn around and be like, we're not going to re-sign Matt Miazga. It's like,
by the way, Miles is not going to be a finalist for Defender of the Year.
Which is, I don't know.
I mean, if you're on a team that is outperforming XG as badly as we are, yeah, you should be on the finalist for Defender of the Year because you're doing some voodoo to keep the ball out the back of the net.
Yeah. Also, let's not pretend like contracts don't also have to do with like the player Miles Robinson will be in 3 years versus the player Matt Miazga will be in 3 years.
They do, but they also have to do with the player Miles Robinson will be next year.
Sure.
And when like Tristan Blackman is going to win Defender of the Year on like a $600K contract.
I mean,
and Matt Doyle is saying Philly with their two like TAM center backs have the best center back duo in MLS. That's all relevant.
You just got to give Philly a trophy because otherwise it's too hard to explain like why they're actually good. Because like they don't have like a star player. They've got a coach who
this is some Ty Baribo erasure.
Coach of the Year.
The Ty Baribo erasure.
Can we give some props? Speaking of center backs, can we give some shout outs? Can we give some love to Cincinnati's own Nicholas Haglund?
Oh. Yes, sir. We can.
Scoring his goal on decision day, last home game of the year, fan appreciation night.
Great game, by the way.
What better way to make up for the fact that we all got these shitty scratch offs that were offering $25 off a purchase of $250 or more?
Every single one was that, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, there were. It's like playing bars and bells, and
you can't just load it into your SeatGeek account, so you can't just get $25 the next time they like charge your
season tickets.
Your season tickets.
Whoa! So I got 20% off my season tickets. Somebody
right? I would
take $25 off them.
Oh, sure, okay.
No, like we were all asking if like we like all went in if we ordered $250 worth of beer, if we could all take advantage of like each getting $1 off our beer on an order of 10 of them.
So is that 6 beers or 7 beers?
7
but
beers.
It's a SeatGeek. You can't buy beer on SeatGeek.
Not yet. You should be able to, though.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I'll give you that.
I want to order Uber Eats to my seat. Nick Hagelin hitting the
made it so much better. Like I forgot about the
water.
scratch off immediately. It was great.
The celebration was incredible.
I feel bad I didn't recognize it immediately.
So I saw it and thought, oh my God, was that Jesus on the cross? Like, because that's what I
was
thought
like,
the
what's
foot
he
was.
doing? He's doing something.
And what was funny is my wife immediately was like, no, I think it's a fountain from Fountain Square.
See, I went immediately to he was doing a Karate Kid, like the unblockable crane kick.
Good for your wife, Kevin.
She clocked that immediately. You know what got it? It's the hands, because I wasn't tracking where the hand position was.
And there was also no water coming out of his palms, which made it really hard.
That makes it tricky, but also could have been stigmata. So kind of tricky.
Nick Hagelin died for our sins.
That was 2023. 24?
Man, anyway. Nick is a miss for the show.
Never say never.
We've never had him.
Yet is what I'm trying to say. This is my way of saying Nick Hagelin on the Wednesday show would be pretty dope.
It would be pretty dope.
Could you imagine? I bet lots of people would like that.
It's like, Nick Hagelin, welcome to the postcast. Before we have you on, you've never heard a word we've said, right? All right, awesome. Let's talk.
What? We have only described him as the load-bearing MacBook that keeps this entire thing afloat.
No, absolutely. It's never been about Nick. It's about the people that he has to share the field with every so often. We called his one dude overpaid. We got his other dude holding out and making business decisions in the playoffs.
Look, it's if anybody involved with the team ever admitted to having heard a minute of the show,
they gotta quit.
It's a failure.
They'd have to ban us from the stadium too.
What's that?
They'd have to ban us from the stadium if they were listening too. The fact that I still scan my tickets every game means no one's listening.
This is why I don't scan my tickets.
This is world game content. But it's like the Chris Armas thing.
Oh my God.
Where he's like, you guys are always really negative about us. Dude, you should have no idea what they say about you. This is a fan blog.
Especially the fan blog. If it's the Denver Post, is that the one? Yeah. If it's the Denver Post talking smack, by all means, you've read the column. Why are you going after the Burgundy Wave? Also, again, not to burn Wednesday content, but I always think of it as Wednesday's Thursday content, I guess. Anyway, hell yeah. People got the wrong reaction about that. That's dope. If I'm the Burgundy Wave, I am so happy. You got the best reaction. You proved that he is a clown. You got everything you were hoping for.
And not only that he's a clown, but he's a reader. Even better.
Yeah, I would be offering whatever Chris Armas's number was when he played last, or whatever number he's most famous for, offer that % off subscriptions for the next month.
Dude,
offer the Chris Armas discount.
If Pat Noonan yelled at Damon in some post-game press conference and he was like, you're out of the 18. I'd be like, oh, we won. We did it. We did it. We got it.
This entire endeavor is just to get a great, oh my God, they listen moment, and then we just fold up shop.
So we got to ask for Chris Armas for an interview, right? Mm-hmm. Once he gets fired.
Mm-hmm.
Why wait?
We've never said any bad thing about it.
Yeah. Why did you kill Tasha Yar?
I think on one of our shows, I think this show, we defended him when the English media went after him.
Yeah, we were pro Chris Armas when he was an assistant.
Well, we were like,
Manchester
what are you guys
United?
talking about? He's an assistant coach. Why are you going so hard after this guy?
An assistant coach that had coached around the world, was a professional soccer player for a long time, played at the international level. Cup. Yeah. It's a perfectly normal hire. What's the matter with you? But not good enough for the Colorado Rapids, so maybe they had a point. Maybe we were actually wrong.
So Evander scored the weakest goal I've ever seen in my life.
I loved it.
Yeah.
This is why if we were a Western Conference team, we would have broken the points record. I'll throw that out there.
But then we'd have to
I think
play all
you're
our
right.
games we'd have to play all games on West Coast time, and that would be annoying.
That's a good point.
That's a lot of late
Where would we
nights.
play? We can't be in an MLS city. Where would Cincinnati pick home base to be? So we don't feel like a
Bozeman.
Vegas team. Oh, Bozeman.
Bozeman, Montana.
Bozeman, Montana. Be good.
Reno, Nevada.
Ooh, Reno, good. Reno, good. Pretty close to
Tahoe.
Truckee. Yeah.
Actually, it'd be really funny if we were Sacramento. So like Sacramento Republic just gets like we
Surprise.
A's them. Yeah.
No, I like Reno because it's like 45 minutes to Palisades.
Yeah.
Speaking
also
Grayson's
close
language
enough.
now.
It's also close enough to like also kind of be annoying to Sacramento. It's like just a
But
little.
also it would have the added benefit of people being like, why not Vegas? It's like, yeah, not really my scene, man.
Yeah, not our vibe.
No. Biggest small town in America. We're a Reno city.
Could we go to not Provo? Where's BYU at? Is
Provo.
it Provo?
Provo.
Yeah. We could go to Provo. The first sort of like RSL rivals.
Park City.
Ogden.
Ogden. Okay. Jackson Hole. We're the professional team of Jackson Hole.
Yes, Jackson Hole. Yes.
Just a couple of dudes throwing West Coast cities out. Love it.
I bet Linder and Cheney know each other. We could build some land on Cheney's land.
They definitely know each other.
We could build a stadium on Cheney's land. He owns like a third of the state.
But then where will he hunt people?
In the stadium. We're bringing people right to him.
Just turning the entire thing into the war zone from Call of Duty.
Cheney like walking around the stadium with like a tiny, like very thin blade. He just gets into like the supporter section and he just like slides it in the guy's throat.
No, that's how Tevin Denke kills people in that suit. It's just immediate and quick.
Piano wire. Just keeps a little bit in his pocket.
I don't think
How did
piano
my
wire is
man
quick.
hold on? How did my man look so good in his suit? Like,
He
that's
looked really
insane. That's like, that should be illegal to look that good.
I want to hear the menswear guy comment on how Kevin Denke filled out that suit, but I do feel like he filled it up. I feel like it was like cut well.
Yeah.
What was the collar gap situation? You know, I gotta judge that.
It looked very tailored, like extremely tailored.
But not like that Daniel Craig, like too tight.
Yeah.
Look. Like it looked good.
Yeah, look like it's room to move, but like also, yeah, like you look at that and you're like, why do I even bother? Why do I bother wearing a suit ever?
The first rule of fashion is to be attractive, and the second rule of fashion is to not be
Ugly.
to not be unattractive.
Yeah. Many people saying.
So
What else happened? Brenner scored, right? That's cool.
Brenner
scored a man goal.
As
He was
opposed to.
He was like tugged, right?
Yeah.
And he fought off a defender.
Love
And,
that.
Goal.
and then he took the ball and he took the ball down.
No, we're not calling it a
Allegedly.
Well sourced.
Yeah. But he fought. He took the ball down a bit and finished off the play.
That was great.
It was great. Not just because he scored, but also because he it's like, oh yeah, that's a non-DP striker.
Right.
Yeah.
That's also like the goal where it's like, okay, maybe this team has some business to do in the playoffs. That's like the goal where you can squint and you can say, this team got markedly better at the transfer window. And sure, like a lot of teams got better. You know, Columbus got their DP striker. Well, we added a DP striker too. We're just calling him a TAM striker, and we're kind of renting him until the end of the season. And that's one where it's like, okay, this is a different team than existed prior to Brenner.
Yeah.
And he's a dude where, yeah, he can add that second goal that puts the game out of reach. Or to your point about this team coming from behind, well, now we got Brenner out there, and that's another option for, okay, you got to defend this guy too when we're trailing. And the good news is we haven't been trailing a lot since we got Brenner. So that is an unknowable data point as to how that's going to impact this team's ability to go find a goal when it needs to.
Yeah. No, we've replaced Sergio Santos with Brenner, and I I
That's
think
pretty
we look
good.
a little better for it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot more. If I'm being honest.
Grabbed the Brazilian flag blanket out of the crowd. That was a good look.
Like that.
That was fun.
I'm just enjoying the ride, man. I don't think he's going to be here next year, but I'm just enjoying the ride while it's here. And like, if there is the sort of narrative that like is the unknowable thing that somehow guides the, the fate of sports teams, it's a pretty cool narrative with the Brenner comes back to help the team win a trophy and then, fades off into the sunset. Like, what did they say? There's only like 10 types of stories you can write. A stranger walks into town being one of them. Yeah. That's Brenner right there. Just walk back into town. Yeah.
No,
I think
it's not Big Iron because Brenner has been here before. It's El Paso. He's going to die coming back, hallucinating that Felina loved him.
It's got like unfinished business.
Or if it's like Rian Johnson writing this, he'll just disappear at the end from being too tired.
Yeah.
It does feel a little bit like
still bitter.
like the setup would be like a Disney made for TV movie where the high school basketball star has gone to college and like can't see the court for like Duke, but finds out he like didn't take a summer class that he was supposed to, and he has to come back and he's still technically eligible to play for the high school team.
Or the modern era of the transfer portal, he's a guy that went to some small school. Maybe he goes to Toledo or he goes like Kent State. Ooh, and then he balls out, transfers to Duke or North Carolina, can't see the court, and realizes that like he can go back and then leads the team on a Cinderella run through the NCAA tournament.
Oh my God, wait, he's LeBron James and he just came back to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, that works.
Just without the other titles in between there.
I mean, we did kind of get like Brenner's The Decision during the first time around.
Could be The Replacements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another great football movie.
Shane Falco.
Winners want the ball, Shane.
Yeah.
Winners want the ball.
But it's already a cool story. Would have been a dope story if we won Supporters Shield. But
could still be a dope story.
It wouldn't have been a dope story if we won Supporters Shield because it meant that the film, the climax happened too early. So now there's, it's tantric. We're delaying the climax until later on.
Yeah, it looked like that was going to be the story, but it's not the story. Oh my God, but there's still 20 minutes left of this movie. What's going to happen? Yeah.
Right. And not like there's 20 minutes left of this movie in the Lord of the Rings sense where it's just like, all right, it has to be over now. That had to have been the ending. No, there's another ending. Oh,
nope,
what are we doing here?
All right. Let's put that away. Let's go over to part 2. Let's just look at the schedule. Let's get this schedule talk out of the way. All right. We are back. Chief?
Yes.
The schedule has us
hate it.
Monday night at, I think, 3:15 p.m. What is the time on this?
6:45 p.m. on a Monday.
6:45 p.m. on a Monday.
Just put yourself in the shoes of these players. They've played this game their entire lives. Some of them it's going to be their first opportunity to be in the MLS Cup playoffs presented by Audi, as discussed by the postcast. What kid doesn't dream of making their playoff debut at 6:45 on a Monday?
Oh. Dream scenario.
Truly the stuff dreams are made of.
It's the reason why the NFL schedules their biggest games for 6:45 on Mondays. It's the reason why the NBA finals are always at 6:45 on a Monday. It's nothing is ever scheduled at this time of consequence. That's right.
No, the only other sport that does this is a sport we should definitely be trying to emulate, and that's baseball. Where inexplicably there will be like a 5 o'clock kickoff, a 5 o'clock first pitch for some reason for a playoff game, and it's like
baseball loves the
I'm
3 p.m.
at work. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? And before I get anyone saying this, I want to address this first and
Please.
foremost, where it's like, well, I mean, it's 2025. You can just watch on your phone at work. No, you can't. No, you can't. I'm sorry. If you're the type of person like, I'll throw the game on in the background at work, that means one of two things. Either you're not working or you have a really stupid job. It's one of the two.
Or you don't actually
or you're not
care
watching
that
the game.
much.
Or you're not watching the game. That's also a possibility too.
Like I will absolutely put like a YouTube video on the background when I'm working. I'm not watching that closely. I don't know the value of that watch metric. I'm not. You ask me, hey, what's that video about? I'd be like, I kind of lost the plot 10 minutes ago.
So, Kevin, I pose this question to you. Grayson can chime in too if he's so inclined. Why does the MLS hate us?
I don't know why. Like, the annoying thing is that our game's on a Monday night and the away leg is a Sunday night. That's frustrating to me because it feels like an advantage for Columbus that like our leg is on a weeknight. And I understand like weeknight means like the night before, but like that ours is on a Monday after the workday with only like an hour and a half after the traditional end of the workday before kickoff, whereas the Columbus one is Sunday. You have all day to sort of like prepare and pregame and do your whole sort of pregame ritual. You can't do that. Like on a Monday in particular, so many of those bars are already closed. Like I don't know how many
it's service industry day. Mondays are not a great day.
That's tough. It's frustrating that they're not the same day, right? Like if it was Monday and Monday, I could understand that. If it was Sunday and Sunday, I'd understand that. But Chief, do I have it right? There isn't a single Saturday game.
No Saturday games in all of MLS. I don't. That's the one I genuinely don't understand.
I don't even need it to be ours. What are we doing?
Right. And like, you can't say, oh, we don't want to compete with college football because you've been competing with college football for over a month and a half on Saturdays.
They don't want to compete against the Mercantile Library fundraiser.
It's a big one.
Big deal. Big deal.
Yeah, do they announce a speaker for
Colson
that?
Whitehead. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. It's a big speaker.
They get good speakers.
I'm very excited. I'm glad we're not playing against that because I would have had to miss the game. But
Grayson would have had to make a business decision. Would have been tough.
Yeah, that'd have been tough.
Tough. The no games on Saturday is stupid. And then, of course, we give Miami the Friday time slot because, this league is just an ego service to Lionel Messi at all times.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate this. And, marquee matchup. I mean, it's all playoff games are marquee matchups. I don't understand. And
it's the marquee. Come on.
Yeah,
it's
the only one that matters with the possible exception of whatever you want to give with Messi. Sure.
Right. Sure. But like, I don't understand why you're on Apple TV. You can set whenever the hell you want to start games at. And I think that for this game, there's a Fox Sports window that they want to put this on.
Sure.
How about not? Just what are we doing here? You have Apple TV. Like, you need to start leveraging that. Like, no one's going to watch it on Fox Sports 1. These games do like test pattern numbers on linear cable. It's all going free on the Apple TV app for the playoffs. Start this game at 8. Monday Night Football works at 8. Like, that was saw this, like, Laurel Failer put this up earlier today. And I thought this was, a little interesting, where she says in one of her tweets, like she was one that broke the news of the schedule. So she was the first person that got the comments. I hear you FC Cincy fans, but how come I don't hear all this complaining ahead of Bengals games on Mondays or Thursdays? This was for a 2-4. There's a picture of sold out asses to elbows at Paul Brown Stadium. This was for a 2-4 team on a Thursday, by the way, and it started at 8:15 p.m. regular season. That difference between a 6:45 kickoff and an 8:15 kickoff, that extra 90 minutes where you can sort of, if you work a 9 to 5, or, let's be real, most people work like a 9 to 6 these days, you can get off work and you can make the choice of either I go home, I get changed, I get ready for the game, or you can just go, if you work downtown or you work wherever, you can just go directly downtown. And then you've got like an hour hour and
Yeah.
15 minutes to have a drink, get amped up for the game. And do you think the home field advantage is going to be better or worse with a crowd full of people that got off work at 6 o'clock and went right to the game stone cold sober, or a group of people that, got off work at 6 and still managed to throw 2 or 3 down before the game to get a little lubed up and ready to, shout whatever needs to be shouted at the Columbus Crew?
Oh, and by the way, all the bars over there had 6 months to staff up for this Monday night game and tell everybody that they're going to be open.
Also the picture Laurel posted was a Thursday game.
Yeah.
Okay. When the bars are already open. Okay.
Fair.
I have 3 problems. Look, we love Laurel.
We do.
Okay.
Great episode. Go back and listen to it if you didn't hear the interview with her last week.
But I've got 3 beefs with her tweet.
Triple cheeseburger.
That's an expensive take you have here. Continue.
One is yes, 8:15 very different from 6:45. Okay. 2 is the NFL is like it's 9 home games. Right. And it's announced, 6 months plus in advance. So like everybody who wants to go to that has like ample opportunity to like plan however they want to plan, And the last beef is, I think, like probably the most fundamental beef is she's like, I haven't seen complaints about the 8:15,
Right.
Everybody hates Thursday night games. Every fan hates Thursday night games.
Twitter is not real life. Like saying like, oh, I've seen like 2 people say they're not going to the Monday game because it's on Monday or whatever. That's nothing. You need to like do data for this, because if I had the opportunity to go to the Thursday night Bengals game, like, but it was IRL. Okay.
Mm.
So it doesn't go across Laurel's eyeballs. Somebody asked me if I wanted to go to the game, and I said, no, I can't be going to a Thursday night football game because I got to work tomorrow. I didn't tweet it.
You should have.
Right?
That would have been electric content.
So it wasn't, I guess.
Thank you for standing up to Roger Goodell and the Empire.
I guess it wasn't a data point because I had that conversation in real life and I didn't tweet it, But I guarantee I'm not the only person who decided not to go to the Thursday night football Bengals game because it was on a Thursday night.
Right.
So like the fact that some people complain about the 6:45 p.m. Monday night game doesn't mean that like people aren't going to go to the game. People are going to go to the game.
Yeah.
And like other people like me, I guess a fake fan, whatever, did decide not to go to the Bengals game because it was 8:15 on a Thursday.
Right.
But whatever.
The schedule is also dumb. Like, the easiest way to do this is,
why aren't we on a Saturday?
There are no Saturday games.
Why aren't we 7:30 on Monday?
Why are we not 7:30 on Monday? Great question.
Yeah, why not 8? I just like
the schedule.
Why isn't Monday 8 and 10?
You could have the entire
or 8 and 10:30, because the 10:30 it's a West Coast game.
Yes,
that's 7:30 local. It's great.
They went the entire season without a single problem having games overlap. And now, in the best of 3, where these individual games don't necessarily matter as much, this is where they draw the line and go, no, we have to, 1, abandon every game on Saturday. That was our rule that we gave ourselves. We're going to abandon it now. And we're going to overlap some games, but not all of them. Look, here's the solution, MLS. This Wednesday, play-in game. Sure. Saturday, home seed, top seed hosts. That's how the playoffs work. Then Wednesday, that's the away leg. If you need the other Saturday, it's there. And then you take the break for the international break, you pick it back up after that, and it's every Saturday from then on. That's it. You don't need to do the weird break like part way through this.
What do we know? We're just the best MLS podcast.
Beat soccer wise.
Fans, best popular vote. Popular vote.
Yeah. That's right. We didn't need the Electoral College to win. We won the popular vote.
College. Didn't need a gerrymander.
We actually lost the Electoral College. Thankfully, they stopped counting those.
We definitely would have lost the Electoral College.
Vote's been certified, though. You can't undo it, no matter how much you want to protest.
Or again, abandon the best of three and just do home and home aggregate. Home team has the option of hosting the first or second leg.
Or
like
just
top seed
do
gets that.
6 teams make the playoffs. Because, if you're 7th seed, you don't deserve to be there.
Now, having said that, I think the 7th seed would have been like the 3rd seed last year on points.
Yeah, right.
No. I'm not going to look back now to see who the 7th seed is. Whoever the 7th seed is, you don't deserve to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's totally unknowable.
Just top 6, do first 2 teams get buys.
Yeah.
Let's rock and roll.
Should we feel better that we didn't get stuck? I think Charlotte has the Tuesday game. Is a Tuesday game worse than a Monday game?
It depends on the time.
Yeah, the time. Honest to God, the time is the worst part.
6:45 is what bothers me, and like I think people are making a little bit much of the scheduling. I don't know why we couldn't have been the Friday. I don't know we couldn't have been on Saturday.
Yeah.
It is like 6:45. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Just because like it's Monday, your pregame options are like kind of limited, and like the food in the stadium kind of sucks. Like I want to go like get some food and then go to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an adult, like a real person might.
Right. And the other thing too is I spare me the negative that I have a drinking problem. I know I have a drinking problem. It's okay. Like I'm fine. We're managing
Everybody
it.
does.
Yeah. You know what? It's like I saw the take in the Discord, well, do you need to have a drink to get rowdy? No, but it sure helps.
I need to have a drink to feel normal.
Right.
I just need to get to baseline.
Right.
And just gotta get to. You just got to get to normal.
There's
I got to get the shakes to stop.
Right. Yeah. No, I just gotta, just the first one is just to calm me down. Okay. Like just to get through the day.
There are 4 games in each conference. You could do the East Coast one at 7:30 on Friday, the West Coast at 9:30 on Friday. You could do the same thing Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, okay? Or maybe you make it 8 and 10, and then you could do the Monday night one. But like, why are we doing this weird stretched out thing where there's 1 game on Friday, 3 on Sunday, no on Saturday, 1 on Tuesday, 1 on Monday? Like, what
Is
the
it like,
hell?
Are they trying to do some fucked up Turner time where like they used to start shows at 6:05 because they thought then if the show went to 6:35, you would not switch channels because everything else would have already started.
Yeah.
That if they start this game at 6:45, then maybe you'll watch this instead of Monday Night Football because, if we started it at 8, you'd have to make a choice of whether to watch Monday Night Football or that. And this way it's like, oh, well, I've already started this. I can't stop watching this. And then, oh, look, I've already missed so much of the Monday night game. Maybe I'll just continue
Mac
watching
Jones is playing for San Francisco.
Yeah, he's playing really well, actually.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like shockingly well.
I do want to take this time to point out that all of the issues we have, or not all, but a lot of the issues we have with this in terms of the international break happening in the middle of this, the chaos that is college and NFL football causing on the stadiums.
They're gonna be obviated by the schedule switch.
Yes.
Yep.
I can't help you on the best of 3 nonsense.
Also, I agree with you and I agree with Laurel that FC Cincinnati fans are simply bad fans. You
Yep,
should not care when the game is. You should just go.
Yeah.
You should just go when they tell you.
Yes.
And
pay what
it's
they tell
not
you.
me delivering the message. It is Laurel Failer delivering the message.
Hang on.
That FC Cincinnati fans are bad fans.
I don't think that's what
Disavow. This is
They're
not true.
worse. They're worse than Bengals fans.
Wait, no, I don't think she said
This
this.
again.
I
It's
think this is
not.
a,
It's
I
not
think this
me
is a
delivering
gross
the message.
misread of the situation right here.
It is Laurel Failer and Kevin Wallace and the chief, the chef, delivering the message.
First off, how dare you?
Oh,
Les chef.
Can we all agree though that no matter when these games are played, they need to wear the road white uniforms for the rest of the playoffs?
Yes.
Always.
I have a theory on this, by the way, as to why
I'm sure
they play
you
better.
do.
I know. I always have a theory. Why they play better in the white uniforms? I think it's because
Disavow.
Yeah, I just want to pre-disavow this take.
I think that the blue and the orange uniforms, while a great look in terms of if you're just going to wear a kit around,
Mhm.
I think some players may be like colorblind in some way and unable to see them and differentiate them from like the grass. Whereas like the white, you can very clearly see it stands out. It's like it contrasts with the green or mostly off brown green of the turf. Whereas the blue and the orange, I'm just saying maybe a lot of these people need to look at those pictures on the team where there's the dots and you see a number and just like, maybe we need to identify and do some vision tests and find out if you just can't see the home uniform correctly.
Chief, I think you're onto something here. They did a study. I don't know who. Somebody did a study.
They them
Did the study on goalkeeping or goal nets in games and what color the net was and how it corresponded.
Isn't it always white like Chief likes?
Again, disavow.
Whoa.
Jesus.
Wait, they're not always white. Wait a second. No, they do like some teams like Atlanta has done like a red and black striped net. Other teams have done different colored nets. There's like novelty nets or like, awareness nights and things like that. I don't know that we've seen a rainbow net before, but they found that, like using a brighter, more like obvious shoot here goal net produced more goals than a darker colored net or something that might blend in more. So I think
feel like
you're onto
something that's like red, white, and blue would produce more own goals.
Lately, yeah. Are we beating the allegations or are we never beating the allegations? I need a clarification at this point from this segment.
It depends on who's listening.
It really does depend on who's listening. Well, that's true. That's true. It's like the point of the show that does depend on who's listening, right? Because there's it's like what's delivered, and then it's also like how it lands.
Yes.
Poorly
and
is the answer to that question.
Generally poorly. So it's like but it is like a two-step process.
Yeah. Yeah. We face Columbus. Let's talk about this.
I don't want to.
No, man.
This is the worst timeline. I hate every bit of this. I don't want this. I don't relish the challenge. I do not buy that this is, this is they're weak. They're not as good as everyone thinks they are. This is when would you ever want to play them? No. Anyone that says that is that's rat poison. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about it. You're a bad person for putting it out in the universe.
Okay, so let's assume for a moment Columbus did not get out of the play-in game, but was stuck in the play-in game. And let's assume then we would be playing presumably Orlando.
Yes, I would much rather have that.
Would you?
Yes, I would rather have that.
That we would win, and since we fear Columbus, we have to assume they would beat Philadelphia. Would you rather meet Columbus in the Eastern Conference Finals, or would you rather get a best of 3 against them now?
I want to delay playing Columbus as long as possible because with each subsequent round, it increases the possibility that they all get like, a horrible stomach bug. Nothing long term, that will cause any serious injury or like bad karma, but just enough that maybe they all get like, the flu or
Pachuca's
like diphtheria
revenge.
or something.
I would
like
I'd rather have Columbus on a single game than a best of 3.
Really?
Yes. And they're only going to get healthier. Like Diego Rossi is day to day.
Aren't we all?
Like
Feels
we have,
day-to-day
like
right
we
now.
have we have multiple players who are out currently with, and
Sure.
and most of those players, I'm not saying it's on purpose, just coincidentally are players who were like on loan or like out of contract next year or held out for a better contract at the early beginning of the season. I'm sure it's just coincidental that the health of the players all relates to players who have like kind of, up in the air contract situations.
Oh, Grayson, I didn't connect the other two to that until you just said that.
Delicious.
But like throw all that away.
I would love to.
We had
nothing more.
We played Columbus twice this year and they waxed us.
We were up by 2 goals with like 10 minutes in. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, we did have a great 10 minutes at home against Columbus.
Kind of felt like we were never going to lose again.
We've had like a real nice like 16 minutes against Columbus.
Yeah.
And they've had a really great like 104 minutes plus stoppage time.
It was like my dating life in college. Great 16 minutes
and then
total.
It's like, oh yeah, they don't have their DP striker. They didn't have their DP striker when they killed us at home.
But we didn't have Brenner.
That's true. That's true. We've never lost with Brenner Wheat.
We also
don't fact check that.
Didn't really have Kevin Dinke apparently after those first 16 minutes.
Yeah, I think we can beat Columbus. I think we have better players, but I thought we've had better players every time that we've lost to Columbus. So
there was many losses to Columbus where I didn't think we had better players.
But like
recently,
under the Albright
abstract,
in the Albright Noonan era.
Yes.
Well, since 23.
Okay, that's fair.
I have felt like we've had better players than Columbus. No, I'll say 22. I thought we've had better players than Columbus the entire Albright Noonan era, and we have not.
But isn't that more the reason why you want multiple bites at the apple rather than a fluke game?
No, because we have like a sample size.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a better.
We've played them a lot.
I like our chances better on like a one-off game than if you play it 3 times. Then you have to say that like, well, they tend to win more of those games than we do. On a 1-game scenario, it's like, yeah, we can win 1 game. If you're stretching it out to 3 games, it's like, well, history suggests that over the course of 3 games, they're probably going to win 2 of those 3, or at the very least, get at least one of them to penalties, where we all know how that goes for us most of the time.
Yeah, we sub in Evan and we win.
God, that'd be awesome.
And the fact that they don't have like their DP striker, well, they're great at doing what we're bad at. Right? Like they're great at moving the ball through the center of the field.
They're also great at losing Major League Soccer games, which they've done that way
lots
more
of
than
players,
us.
lots of teams that are great at losing Major League Soccer games
play well against us,
beaten us,
but not as many as have beaten the Columbus Crew, folks.
Yeah,
as bad as you think we are.
Man,
so hold on. What? Hand to God, Kevin, were you excited with this draw?
No.
Okay, that's all.
No, here's the thing. There's two.
What are we doing
two
here?
things in this.
Hold on. Kevin,
please
say your thing first.
I just don't think it is unreconcilable to say that I did not want to face them and we can beat them. Those seem very fair. This is more like me stressing about, like, honest to God, like the engagement with Columbus Crew fans, the debate of, like, coming up with rational takes as opposed to just like, I hate them and this is stupid and I don't like this. There's more to it than that. Also, like, tickets are now expensive and they were not going to be expensive versus Orlando or whomever. Chicago would have been very cheap.
Okay.
So yes. Okay. So Grayson,
So-
yes, get me.
This is like the right time to get Columbus, right?
I would say yes, in general. That's probably good.
And people are feeling like pretty good that, like, you know, we are like at the exact right time
We're in
for
the
like
ascendancy.
our team to play against Columbus, right?
Yes. Yes.
And we're like on the up, and we got like much better players, and they are struggling, you know,
Yes.
from a player standpoint.
Don't
right?
like how much I'm agreeing with you. Yes.
And so, like, this is basically the optimal time to draw Columbus in the playoffs. Yeah, like you would actually, in your scenario before, you'd
Mhm.
rather take them early in the playoffs
In
than
a
like
best
in the
of
Eastern
three,
Conference
yes.
Finals,
Yes.
because they would have the chance to get like healthy later in the playoffs.
I think that
and
in-
maybe be in a better position later in the playoffs than they are now. Yeah.
I would say generally I think we're a better team than them. And so over the course of a best of three, that should be evident. I am not saying that Columbus can't beat us in a game. I'm not going to go that far, but I am going to say over a course of best of three, we should come out on.
Y'all are just arguing
But-
over when
but would
the
you
best
ag-
time for
hold on.
Charlie Brown to kick the football
But
is.
would you
Like,
agree? Would you agree that Columbus would be a tougher draw later in the playoffs, likely than earlier in the playoffs, because of their injury situation?
I think it's necessarily that any team you face later in the playoffs will be a tougher draw than any team you face earlier in the playoffs because they have advanced and survived to the point of later.
What
in
if
the
one of their
playoffs.
best players tries to deliver a pizza to the officials midway through one of the
One
playoff
of their
series?
players? I invite any and all pizza
I'm
deliveries.
just saying teams
from
don't always
Columbus
get
Crew
better
fans.
during the course of the playoffs. I can think of one prominent example where the team got a lot worse
No.
due to some odd
And
circumstances.
But
I think you'd also agree that, like,
I'm walking well into this trap if I'm not already
we're
entirely ensnared.
probably gonna play Columbus in the playoffs kind of for the foreseeable future, right?
It does feel like we're both going to be good for a while.
You know, it's very
until
much a
something bad
Borat
happens.
situation. Like,
Yeah.
my neighbor get clock radio, I get clock radio. It's just-
So if
So early returns don't look good for Eastertal, but yes.
if the team doesn't beat Columbus in this series,
Yeah.
you got to clean the coaching staff out, right?
because they will never have a better opportunity to beat Columbus
Because this
in
is
the
the
playoffs.
best opportunity to beat Columbus, and if they can't get over the hump, woof.
So this is
Like,
a good question.
You got it. You're going to have to beat them over
I
time.
honestly-
And
I
if
think-
you can't beat them
Yeah.
at their weakest
Yeah.
and at your strongest,
I
you're not
think
going to get it
it's-
done.
I'd go as far as to agree with you, Grayson, to say that is probably true regardless of who the opponent is. Like, this FC Cincinnati team losing in the first round to Orlando, Chicago. I don't know.
Orlando's going to blow up after this year.
I'm just saying a first round exit for this FC Cincinnati team will put, I think, real actual pressure on the coaching staff. I think that.
But
will
I'm
be-
saying, like, if you lose to Columbus,
Yeah.
given all that we think about the matchups
Right.
and the state of the teams and everything,
yeah.
got to go, right? Because if you don't beat them now, you'll never beat them.
I don't know that I want to agree with that, but for the sake of putting the right amount of pressure on people,
Yeah.
I think at this point, I'm ready to fully agree with that. And I will revise whether or not I should have agreed with that based on the outcome of this playoff series.
Yeah, me too.
Yes. But no, Grayson, I'm saying, like, I agree with that even if it's not Columbus. Like,
Yeah, but I'm talking about Columbus specifically.
well, yeah, I mean, Columbus makes
Yeah,
it
for Columbus, they should get
even
extra
more so.
fired.
Yeah. I think saying losing to Orlando
It should get
in
like
the first round,
Wicker Man.
you should be fired. You should do what did Norwich do? They fired him like 3 minutes after the end of the game.
No, like on the field.
Northampton.
Yeah.
Or surely not Northampton.
No, it's what is it? It wasn't Norwich.
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest.
We got
Yep.
there. Northampton, I think, is like in the League
Yeah.
One.
What if Yeah, it's like Carl gets down and like challenges Noonan to a fight.
Or maybe pulls a Ted Turner and appoints himself manager for the third game.
Or maybe they appoint Nate as the manager. I think that's how that works.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about this anymore. If we don't talk about it, it won't happen, right?
I mean, that kind of is the problem with Major League Soccer. If you just sort of don't open up the Apple TV app, it probably doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But like with Columbus, it's like yeah, if you like ever go up against a coach that like thinks about how to beat you, and he always beats you,
yeah, it's a problem.
It's a problem.
Or just hire that coach.
You guys ever seen the movies? You guys ever seen the movie Celtic Pride?
I don't usually watch those kinds of
movies. I've heard of it. I haven't seen it, but I know the plot.
Yeah. Just,
it's kind of the fan situation, but a comedy.
Yeah. Just throwing that out there.
Okay.
Maybe Wilfred Nancy would be a good house guest for a couple of days.
Okay.
I bet he would. He seems.
Yeah, but he's like a fascinating guy. I would love to have a conversation with him.
He's pretty pleasant.
Yeah. I'd love to talk tactics with him. Like
I bet if you were like, hey, you're going to be here for a little bit.
Right.
Is there a show you want to watch? I bet he'd say Task.
Yeah.
Like, I bet he's like watches good TV.
Yeah, like the new season of The Diplomat. Like maybe you binge that. I don't know.
No, I bet he hasn't watched TV in like 10 years. I don't think he's watched like pop culture in 10 years. He has no idea.
Like
he's listening to like old
I'm gonna watch
jazz
The
records.
Sopranos for the 5th time.
Yeah, right.
Or he's got like some AMC show that he loves, but it's not one of the ones that you think about. Where it's like, you expect him to say like Breaking Bad, and he's like, actually, Hell
he's
on
like,
Wheels.
Halt and Catch Fire.
Yeah.
What's is Lupin? Wasn't Lupin a French
Lupin,
television?
It's Netflix. It's a French show.
Yeah,
that's on Netflix here. Lupin is a good show.
Yeah.
The Gentleman Burglar.
I think that's what Nancy that's his like feel good TV show, because it's literally the only French TV show I can name right now.
Yeah, it's Omar Sy is the actor. Yeah.
Let's get him on the World's Camp. Let's ask him what movies does he watch and what kind of wine does he drink.
For appearing on the World's Game, all guests get an all-expense paid trip around the world to wherever they want to go, but you have to leave right now.
Right now.
Right this second.
And these trips are coincidentally 30 days long. You will be on an oil tanker wherever you pick. It is impossible to get off.
It is a free transfer flight.
But you have Sky Club access, so
there are perks, and a DVD of your favorite French television crime drama,
The Night of the 12th.
Oh God. Okay, let's go over to part 3. We got Patreon questions to get to, and then let's get out of here. All right, we are back, and we are back with Patreon questions. That's right, folks, for a massive financial outlay.
Not massive.
Oh, is it? Oh my God.
Yeah, we can't say that word's done.
Oh, fuck.
Can't be talking like that, Kevin.
Oh my God.
God, man, you're excommunicado right there.
Normal.
Just a normal amount of financial charity, I guess, is
kind of like a regular stuff.
Yeah. It's $2 a month is really all we are asking for. That helps keep the show afloat.
Man, that seems like less than massive, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna try to do like a joke, like I meant to charge more, but it's accidentally $2. But it's been $2 for like a year. I know Laurel said she offers free trials, and I thought, should we offer free trials
of nothing? No.
What would we trial? The free trial is subscribe to the show.
The free trial. You're already in the free trial. If you're still listening,
don't like it, great. If you like it, what's wrong with you?
What's the matter with you? You can make this situation worse by listening to it and being a tiny bit poorer after the end of it by giving us a little bit of money.
Our goal, to let you inside the bit, our goal is to produce content that makes you so stupid you think paying $2 for our Patreon is a good idea.
Yeah, this is sort of the end game of brain rot, is that it convinces you of otherwise really dumb ideas. You can do that on Patreon. There's a link in the description of the episode. A couple of things
We should charge for the Discord and just kill it.
No, what? No. Was doing the math on it. I believe we are the largest FC Cincinnati centric Discord out there.
How about that?
If somebody has a larger one, let me know. But I think we just finally surpassed.
Be really funny to find out there's like some 10,000 person Discord that just like we haven't been invited to.
Yes, I hope so, actually.
It's like, what are you guys talking about? Like, you literally the only people that aren't hanging out with us.
Yeah,
it is funny to like meet somebody new who like identifies as like a big FC Cincinnati fan.
Yeah,
and you're like, ugh. Can I say a word? If I say a word, will you know it or not?
Do you know what this means? What is funny though,
and that word is Ron Jans' favorite song lyric.
We know it's from 50 Cent. What's funny though is that there's a couple of Facebook groups that are like 10,000 people large. There's just like nothing I can do about that. Yeah. But we are not.
Sorry, if you hear anything in the background, it says Grayson and I are both celebrating a Christian McCaffrey touchdown for very different reasons.
No, they co-own a fantasy football team together, folks, and didn't invite me.
We need to get an update on the fantasy football league from Evan at some point too. I need to know what's going on.
We do.
I'll send him a DM. We'll have an update by Wednesday.
I like that.
I need to know that.
So with the Patreon, you get a couple of perks. One of the perks is you get your name in highlighter pink on the Discord. That's always fun. If your name is not pink and you do subscribe to the Patreon, let me know. I can fix that manually. The other thing is I do occasionally post random things in the Discord. Not often, and sometimes I go months without it. So do not expect anything in there. But the other thing you get is you get to ask questions on Patreon. We answer them here on the show. Now this month we were able to get a couple of voice memo versions of these questions, and this first one comes to us from Sean, and here it is.
Final confirmation from CONCACAF that FC Cincinnati will be in the Champions League next year. My question is, in terms of how much we look forward to this, is based on the results that we get in our third year. The past 2 years has been beat a little minnow and then lose to a Mexican side. If we see that happen again, does it become a bit routine, or does hope spring eternal that we always want to be in it just for the chance? Thank you.
Good question. How do we view CCL? Is it, beat a Caribbean minnow and lose to a Mexican giant, or is there more to hope for and to play for here?
That's a tough question to answer for this reason alone. And this might sound like a cop-out. I promise you it's not. Is that every indication on the planet is that MLS is going to be revamping the salary structure heavily ahead of the switch to the winter schedule that they're going to announce, I think, while the World Cup is here next year.
Okay. That
they're going to announce we're switching to the winter schedule, and that in addition to that, here is all the roster changes that are going into effect at the start of the new season, where they also say how we're going to get to that point. So I think that MLS's ability to compete in Champions League is going to change radically with the salary spend changes, I think.
Yeah.
So really next year's CONCACAF Champions Cup is going to be the last version where we still see it under this very draconian DPs, U22s, TAM, GAM, all these different salary slots. So for next year, I don't know. I'm happy they're in it. I'd rather be in it than not in it, just because it means you had a successful year the year before and qualified. And there is always the possibility that the team they build next year could make a Vancouver type run. They're certainly returning on paper some pretty substantially talented players. But I think that I think it'll be a very different picture here going forward once the salary rules make it easier to compete with the Mexican teams in this tournament. And when the winter schedule, where we will be playing this tournament when the team is rounded into its final form. We've been through the summer window preseason and the winter midseason window, and you're playing with the full team in midseason form. I think this tournament's just going to look a lot different when that happens.
Yeah, if not revamped to play partially in the fall, partially in the spring, which they did do in the past. But Grayson, just like the notoriety or like the I don't want to say like glamour, but like, does the tournament itself carry weight?
I think so. Like, I think, like, for me as a fan, like, I like to see them play against like top Mexican sides, and I think the players like the opportunity to play against teams that they don't see otherwise. And you know, like, yeah, they have not done great against like Mexican teams in Champions League, but like, you know, every year's a new opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most MLS teams don't do well against Mexican teams. So we're hardly, you know, alone in that regard.
They don't do well against Mexican teams in like February. Right.
Right.
Or in Mexico for that matter.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
if
They do better in middle of the summer.
Yeah.
In Leagues Cup. But yeah, I think we should continue to care about how the team does, and we should definitely care that the team qualifies.
Yeah. Regularly qualifying is actually kind of hard. Like
it shows you like you're doing well.
Yeah.
In like, you know, broadly.
Yeah. I think of like, you know, ways to judge an MLS team, like making the playoffs is like the first benchmark, and it's incredibly easy to do that just being like halfway competent. Then the next measure is, like regularly making Champions League. I think that's another measure of like constantly being in the top two of the conference or regularly winning or being runners up in various finals. And those are good. That's a good position to be in. That means you're regularly a good team. I'll also say there's two practical things that matter for this tournament specifically. One is MLS teams do get a little bit of extra GAM for participating in the CCL. So we saw with this last salary dump, or, you know, the roster update, this is a team that maximizes every penny that they have. So yeah, an extra 100 or 200,000 or however much they provide, that is great. The other thing is that tournament is now a qualifier to the new weird expanded every 4-year Club World Cup. And given the math on that, sometimes just being like second or third in that tournament might be enough to get you in there overall. So maybe not even necessarily winning it, but having a good performance one year could drop you into the Club World Cup, which this past summer,
it was rad last year. I would like that's
the Club World Cup was great.
That's my new emphasis in terms of like, why do I want to win Champions League? Yeah, I think it'd be rad to play in the Club World Cup.
And even if you don't care about the Club World Cup and think it's, you know, a soulless cash grab or whatever, hey, that cash was worth like $30 million to the Major League Soccer teams that were in it. So I'm sure they enjoyed the money. So
yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Got another question here from Brock Bermel. Brock asks,
what new traditions would you like to see during the playoffs presented by Streetside, discussed by the Post-Cincy?
Ooh, we just gave Streetside a very expensive sponsorship to back up. But what new traditions would we want to see in the playoffs?
How about the beating Columbus tradition? Let's start there.
Yeah. I would just say the winning, the beating the other team tradition.
Like we always win home games in the postseason. Like that would be an awesome tradition to start.
I'd say it's not necessarily a good idea to start a tradition in the playoffs. But baseball teams seem to do this every year. They like invent a tradition like the night before a playoff run, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, the Nationals fans are singing Baby Shark or whatever it is, whenever the new dumb tradition is this year.
Baseball's different.
Oh, okay.
Because there's so much like stoppages in play and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like every time we get a hit, we do like the hip thing or whatever, like the Dodgers were doing.
Yeah.
The hip lock is what they were doing. No, we can't. Like soccer's different. You can't do this. You can't do the same thing.
Do you?
I did notice though, in terms of like new like brain rot culture, when they do the sha-la-la on the Bailey, that does bear a passing resemblance to the 6-7 meme.
Do we do the six?
No.
That would do 6-7 at the 67th
Yeah.
minute
If-
the whole time.
If Jabari scores, we do 6-7.
6-7.
we only 6-7 are 6-7
Seven
forward.
I saw him at the end of the game. He was talking to Kamara. Looked pretty big.
Was he looking down to Kamara?
Yeah, he was looking down to Kamara.
Incredible.
Let me meet this guy.
I like that. If I had to give a real answer to the question, I'm not going to remember the name of it, but in South America, there is a song that every single team sings for the Copa Libertadores, which is like all day, all night, I dream about the cup and all I want is the cup. And they're referring to the Copa Libertadores. I think it'd be fun to sing it in English about MLS Cup. That would be funny, but you know, I have no way of enforcing that.
Given the start time, how about a tradition of half-price beers and half-price food for anyone that shows up early for the match?
There we go.
Yeah.
A meal deal. Come on,
Yeah.
give me dinner and a movie. Dinner and a show. Okay, and then our final question here is from Key. Now, this is not an audio question. This was submitted via text on the Patreon, which is still allowed, folks. Just because I asked for audio submissions does not mean you can't submit a text suggestion or a text question like Key did, which was this. With the ability to skip intro on so many streaming platforms, surely nobody is doing that on this show. I don't really pay much attention to that element of a show. However, season 2 of Peacemaker has me watching the intro every episode. Foxy Shazam playing over a fantastic choreography with all the characters from the show. It gets me every time. The question is there a show that comes to mind when you think of an intro that is worth watching every episode?
I mean, it is Peacemaker because Cincinnati's own Foxy Shazam does the song for the show.
And it's an outstanding intro on top of that, too.
And so I would say, like, anytime you involve Cincinnati in the intro of your show,
I'm in.
Watch the intro.
I like it.
The good intro.
Oh, also, you know, the street side ad, because it includes Easter eggs at the beginning of this show.
Like sometimes
like it includes like useful information that some people who don't listen to it might not otherwise hear.
Hey, at least it's on a Sunday night. That's our recording time anyway.
Makes you think.
Yeah. Yeah. The intro for TV shows is a dying art, which is part of the reason why the Peacemaker thing was so good.
Yeah.
Like I do miss the old school, 60-minute, like when you have an hour-long TV show and you'd have like the cool, list all the characters. I'm thinking like the West Wing, where it's just like the swelling patriotic music.
Ooh, West Wing's good.
Yeah. Best intro. I'm gonna go with a deep cut. I will never skip the intro if I'm ever find myself either watching Batman the Animated Series or Cowboy Bebop. Just bangers on both.
Chief, you did it. Allow me to read the rest of Key's question. Asterisk. Kevin, do not read this part aloud. If Chief mentions Cowboy Bebop, he has to say 3 nice things about Dado Valenzuela.
Are you serious?
I am not kidding. That is in the question. I was so worried you were going to not mention it.
It's an electric intro. It's maybe the best one ever done.
It is
in
a genuinely
history.
good intro, but now you have to say 3 nice things about Dado Valenzuela, who got an assist against Montreal, might I add.
Dado Valenzuela looked really, really good in the game against Montreal. I believe that his ability to connect and interplay with players is a missing component of moving the ball down the field in terms of his movement. and his willingness to play quick give and goes and try and move after he's passed. I think his movement after a pass is something that I wish this team would utilize more to unlock opponents.
Mm.
I'm also interested in seeing what Dowdle would look like as a wingback. So I'm going to throw that out there too.
Ooh, I like it.
But that's really not, that's not a nice thing. That's like an observation that I have, because I thought Kubo looked really good playing wingback. And I think Dotto and Kubo have like some similar DNA.
Yeah.
Other thing about Dotto is if he still has a positive attitude and is showing up to work after the way his minutes have been jerked around this year, he is a much more mentally stable person than I was at that age.
I think that's fair. I will give two answers and then a fun fact. My two answers are, and they're old at this point, like genuinely old. The first one is Chuck. It was a great, weird little like procedural that I really enjoyed back in the day. Was a Cake intro, short skirt, long jacket. It was really nice, animated. But the number one intro for me was always Dexter, the like normal everyday life. It's like presented as like sinister and like, great. But the fun fact is, but
once you saw it,
yeah,
you saw it, so you could skip it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like if you wanted like a useful intro, like Game of Thrones
would like focus on like where the episode would center.
I want to say Severance would like have Easter eggs in some of the intros, or like would change the intro depending on what happened.
I think American Horror Story would have Easter eggs.
Yeah.
About like what happened on the episode.
I've never skipped The Office. I mean, that's just like,
it's also really short too.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah.
The Sopranos has an iconic intro too, like the driving through Jersey with that song, with the Woke Up This Morning song playing. That's a banger intro. That like you can watch that and it's like it's a vibe. You'll vibe out for the like 90 seconds that the intro's going.
The White Lotus first two seasons, just the song was so good.
So this is great. Did you know that there is an Emmy for Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Title Design? Does not get to make the sort of primetime showing of this, which I thought was funny. But yeah, some of the past winners. I'll give you the past couple of winners. Severance won in 2025. Shogun won in 2024. Last of Us in 2023. Severance won in 2022. Good Lord Bird. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Great
Showtime
book.
Show. 2021. And Godfather of Harlem on Epix won it in 2020. Game of Thrones won this in the past. Stranger Things has won this in the past. Dexter, as I mentioned. Cowboy Bebop was nominated a couple of times on this one. I got a kick out of this one. Oh, Chuck was nominated in 2008. I just noticed that. That's fun. I got a kick out of this. So Dexter won in 2007. I went and looked at who won in 2006. The 78th Annual Academy Awards.
Oh, that's self-congratulatory bullshit.
You can't give the award to another award show.
That's dumb.
So there you go.
Don't do that.
You have a new, like, not prime Emmy to keep an eye on and get mad about your favorite show not being nominated. So.
I was always bummed I was always mad as a kid that like when you would watch Cheers in syndication that like they didn't have the full theme song on the syndicated version, so they could stuff more commercials in. That feels like a crime against humanity.
Yeah, I did not get mad about that as a kid because I watched Batman the Animated Series.
You didn't watch Cheers reruns?
I watched children's TV when I was a child.
I think like the first like TV shows I remember watching was like Flipper and the Andy Griffith Show. Like we're talking like
I remember watching Andy Griffith.
Like the Nick at Night stuff, like, you know, Get Smart and Dragnet and Dick Van Dyke. Yeah. Big fans.
Lucy.
I used to watch like
Lucy.
Tapes of the Bob Newhart Show. Good shit. All right. That does it for this episode. I think that's enough on this one. We gotta get out of here. We're talking about Bob Newhart at this point.
Who shouldn't like, and there's never a bad time to talk about Bob Newhart as far as I'm concerned. Fuck Columbus.
Cincy Postcast is a production of The Post Cincy. You can check us out online at thepostcincy.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky, Facebook, and Instagram. Twitter and Blue Sky, though, you'll find we're a little more active than the other places. We're also on YouTube, where you can listen to this episode if you aren't listening to it already. We are also putting up video content semi-regularly, including the Away Days series. We want to give a huge thank you to Jim Trace and the Makers for providing the music for this episode. They are a lovely band, and you can find more information out about them in the description of this episode. And if you happen to enjoy what you just heard, can I please ask that you like us, that you rate us on whatever app you're listening to, and maybe more importantly than all of that, share this episode with a friend. When it comes up at work, you're talking about FC Cincinnati, I say, hey, I listened to an FC Cincinnati podcast. I think you guys will like it. It would really, really help us out. Nothing helps a podcast travel more than a good recommendation from a friend, family member. That would be awesome. When it comes to the sorting algorithms that control our lives, a 5-star review would be much appreciated. Also, leaving a sort of written review weirdly does more than that. That's how the algorithms work. So maybe say a nice or a mean thing, whatever. Just as long as you give us 5 stars, that'll really, really, really help us out. And if you are looking for more MLS content, check out our other podcast, The World's Gam. Again, a link will be in the description of this episode. That is where we touch on league-wide storylines and news, and we talk about other games and a couple other teams in there as well. I think you will enjoy it if you are just dipping your toes into Major League Soccer. A huge thank you to all of our sponsors. A even bigger thank you to all of our patrons over at Patreon. But maybe most importantly, thank you for listening to this episode.